I'm going to call them elite farmers because, a lot of the operations that we see, we have very high standards from a company standpoint. And the reason for that is we feed people. And feeding people is what we're good at. And there needs to be a high standard to make sure that we can feed not only efficiently but also safely.
It's a great experience because we know that they're committed to quality and excellence, and they're working very hard to do a good job in terms of the overall poultry production, and we're trying to do the same here at the farm level so that they can grow to be healthy and happy.
I'm going to call them elite farmers because, a lot of the operations that we see, we have very high standards from a company standpoint. And the reason for that is we feed people. And feeding people is what we're good at. And there needs to be a high standard to make sure that we can feed not only efficiently but also safely.
It's a great experience because we know that they're committed to quality and excellence, and they're working very hard to do a good job in terms of the overall poultry production, and we're trying to do the same here at the farm level so that they can grow to be healthy and happy.
Gotta turn it on. It's like you gotta plug it in.
It's the simple things some days.
That's what you get paid the big bucks for.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, yay!
Yeah. We have success. And I just start as soon as I'm hot, right? Yeah. I'm good. Perfect. I can do that.
Should be used to that.
Yes. Welcome to Lancaster Farmland Trust's Together for the Land event, and thank you for joining us in this very special celebration of farmland preservation. I'm WGAL News 8's Ann Shannon, and I am thrilled to join Lancaster Farmland Trust's efforts to protect farmland in Lancaster County. The mission of the Lancaster Farmland Trust has long been very close to my heart. I live on a farm near Strasburg, Lancaster County. Our farm has been in my husband's family for generations, and today we're raising our 4 boys, the next generation, on the farm. I can't imagine living anywhere else. The farm's not just where we live, it is really part of who we are. And yes, there are many days where I'd rather be doing just about anything else but picking pickleweed out of the cornfields. Still, I can't imagine not being able to smell the air as the hay is being baled on a hot summer day, or looking over a soybean field at the end of the growing season as it turns into that most spectacular gold color. And don't get me started about the sunsets. We are fortunate to be surrounded by Amish friends and neighbors, and because of our location, we've had enticing offers to sell for development. But in our eyes, that's just not an option. It's our firm belief that we are called to be stewards of this land. We desire to honor those who labored on this land before us and protect it for those who will come ahead of us. Really, it's our legacy, and I am so grateful the Lancaster Farmland Trust is here to help ensure that this gift of farmland that we have been trusted with will be protected for generations to come. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Karen Martinick and Jeff Sweinhart of Lancaster Farmland Trust to tell us more about the mission of LFT and why we're here tonight.
Good evening and welcome to Lancaster Farmland Trust's annual celebration of farmland preservation, agriculture, and the dedicated farmers who have made the decision to protect their land. I am Karen Martinick, the Executive Director of Lancaster Farmland Trust. Every year around this time, we gather with our friends and supporters for an evening to honor Lancaster County agriculture. This year, even though we couldn't be together because of health concerns, we decided a celebration was definitely still in order. Over the last 7 months, as we've all learned to navigate a worldwide pandemic, our farmers were still in the field producing our food so that our families could continue to enjoy the fruits of their labor. If there was ever a year to celebrate farming and farmers, 2020 is definitely one for the books. Tonight, we will highlight our accomplishments of the past year and share with you the stories of the farmers with whom we work. And just as we've done when we've gathered in person, we will give you the opportunity to help us raise the funds to preserve a farm on our waiting list. That's right. With your generous support, we hope to raise enough in just one night to preserve a great Lancaster County farm. But more about that later. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me take just a minute to tell you a little about our organization and its mission. Lancaster Farmland Trust was founded 32 years ago by a group of people who were concerned about all the farmland that was disappearing to development. They were determined to protect Lancaster County's most valuable natural resource, its beautiful, productive farmland. Over the past 3 decades, 518 farm families have preserved their land with Lancaster Farmland Trust, permanently protecting over 31,000 acres of valuable farmland. But our work doesn't end when the farm is protected. The Trust also works closely with farmers to make their farms sustainable and to reduce the environmental impact of their operation. Our work protecting and stewarding this land is vital to maintaining the quality of life we enjoy in Lancaster County and ensuring we leave a healthy and vibrant future for generations to come. To fill you in a little more on our work and the farmers we work with is our Chief Operating Officer, Jeff Sweinhart. Jeff?
Karen, you are absolutely correct in stating that our farmers were and continue to be an essential piece of the Lancaster County landscape. While faced with numerous challenges during this global pandemic, our farmers sustained our community and continue to do so with dedication and an optimistic outlook for the coming months. For me, Lancaster County agriculture runs deep in my blood, as I was born and raised in the southern end along the river hills of the Susquehanna. As a child, I spent countless hours on a neighboring farm, getting firsthand experience of the passion and commitment our farmers have for the land. In later years, while working on a dairy farm in Peach Bottom, I witnessed both visually and physically the hard work necessary to be successful in a family business with slim margins and time for little rest. This is the time of the year I miss that experience the most. When farmers get to harvest the bounty of the land, seeing the reward in their careful stewardship over the past months. But I certainly do not miss the 3:30 a.m. milkings or being out in the field harvesting at 1 a.m. The perseverance I witnessed while on that dairy farm is the same we at Lancaster Farmland Trust see every day. Farm families with deep roots to the land that has sustained generations of their families and our community for hundreds of years. These farm families and the 1,500 other farm families across Lancaster County have made a perpetual commitment to the land and our community by preserving their farms. Lancaster County has the most preserved farms and farmland than any other county in the United States. That's right, friends. Lancaster County leads the nation in farmland preservation. Tonight, we celebrate all of the farm families over the past 32 years who have decided their farms will always be available for our community's benefit. Now let's take a look at the 14 farms that were preserved over the past year. Wow, that's an impressive group of farms, and we are fortunate those farms are now protected forever. This event would not be possible without the support of our sponsors, which can be found in tonight's digital program. We are grateful to all of our local business partners for their support and commitment to farmland preservation. Please take a look and thank them for their support of Lancaster Farmland Trust. Let's take a minute to hear from tonight's title sponsor, the Wenger Group.
Welcome to the Wenger Group. Our company was founded in 1944 and has grown to become a leading family-owned agricultural products and services organization serving the Mid-Atlantic region. Our corporate culture has played a central role in our success as individuals and as a company. As we see it, it is the sum of these beliefs and values that have animated our company. Integrity, honesty, and sound moral character define us. Quality, we maintain standards of excellence in all that we do. Respect, we value one another, team members, customers, and vendors. Safety, we put safety first to ensure the physical health and safety of every team member. Stewardship, we manage our lives and assets responsibly for a sustainable future for our team members, customers, community, and the environment. The Wenger Group is a strong supporter of the Lancaster Farmland Trust and its mission to preserve farmland.
Before we get on with our exciting program, I want to remind you that the silent auction is open and will be closing at 8:30 this evening. So if you have not registered to bid or to donate, you can do so now by texting LANCFARMLAND to 243-725 or go online to bidpal.net/LANCFARMLAND. The information is also listed at the bottom of your screen. Now, if you prefer to call in your donation, you can call 717-687-8484. We have happy operators standing by ready for your call. In addition, for your convenience, we suggest you use your television or computer screen to view the live program and use your smartphone or your tablet so you can bid and not miss any of the action. Also, don't forget to share your pictures of your home watch parties and chat with us on social media. Use the hashtag LANCFARMLAND and be sure to tag Lancaster Farmland Trust in your posts and stories. Karen, tell us a little bit more about some of the auction items that are available tonight.
Thank you, Ann. Yes, our raffle and silent auction are well underway. This evening we have not one but two raffle items. One is a framed print by Michael Christian Shaw. Michael is a Lidditz-based artist. The painting is a beautiful farm scene that would look great in anyone's home. The second item is a handmade quilt by Diane Hess. It's a beautiful mix of colors in a traditional pattern and would add a touch of Lancaster County heritage to your home. The raffle tickets are $10 each, or 3 tickets for $25. I've already bought my tickets. I couldn't decide which item to choose, so I bought tickets for both. Remember, we're pulling the winner around 7:20, so get your tickets now before it's too late. We also have a great silent auction with a lot of great items. I'm sure you'll find something to pique your interest, or who knows, maybe 2 or 3 things. My personal favorite is the long weekend in a quaint cabin in the endless mountains. What a great way to unwind with your family. And while you're at it, bid on the items from Central Market. You can take them with you to the cabin. If there's an item that is a must-have for you, you can use the Buy It Now option and save that nail biting for another day. Just a note about bidding, if you have been outbid on a silent auction item, you will receive a text message so you can bid again. You can also set a maximum bid and let the site bid for you up to your maximum. That way you just sit back and enjoy the rest of our program. The silent auction closes at 8:30 tonight, so you have plenty of time after we close the event to check your bids. We need your support, and you need those items. So bid often and bid generously, and remember, your support helps preserve our beautiful, productive farmland.
This is such an exciting night, so let's keep the energy going. Jeff, folks have so many opportunities to contribute tonight. You have 2 raffle items, more than 30 silent auction items, and we're doing a live auction later. What does it mean to the Lancaster Farmland Trust to have the community contribute toward tonight's goals?
And the community support of Lancaster Farmland Trust is central to advancing our mission. And it's why we forge ahead with conviction to protect as much farmland in this great county as possible, so that everyone can benefit from the beauty and bounty of our agricultural resources. 32 years ago, when one of our founders, Amos Funk, was the chairman of Lancaster County's newly created Agricultural Preserve Board, he saw the need for a private, not-for-profit organization to help plain-sect farmers protect their land. As you may know, our older Amish and Mennonite neighbors are often reluctant to work with government entities. That's why Amos and his good friend, Marilyn Ware, created a new organization to be an important partner to the publicly funded Lancaster County Agricultural Preserve Board. What started out as the Friends of Agricultural Land Preservation became Lancaster Farmland Trust in 1988. Today, Lancaster Farmland Trust is a robust and dynamic organization with 518 farms preserved in Lancaster County and surrounding areas. Through an exceptional public-private partnership, Lancaster Farmland Trust and the Lancaster County Agricultural Preserve Board have protected more than 112,000 acres of farmland. Lancaster Farmland Trust is nationally recognized for the success of our farmland preservation efforts and is one of the 50 largest land trusts in the nation. Annually, Lancaster Farmland Trust protects more farms and acres than any other land trust in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Holding true to Amos's vision, more than 80% of our preserved farms are owned by Plains-Sec families. With more than 50 farm families on our waiting list, the time to ensure Lancaster County's iconic viewshed, rich quality of life, and vibrant agricultural economy is protected for future generations is now. In just a few minutes, you will have the opportunity to help protect one of those farms. In the last decade, we took our mission to sustain agriculture and the environment a step further. Daily, we are working with farmers, preserved and not preserved, to reduce their impact on the environment and local waterways, while simultaneously improving their economic performance. To explain how this looks on the landscape, I want to share this video of a current environmental improvement project on a preserved farm.
Today we're here visiting the Zook farm. This is a great example of some of the work that we do at Lancaster Farmland Trust, not only in preserving farms, but also trying to preserve the sustainability of those farms we preserve. You can preserve a lot of land, but if you can't continue a sustainable farming operation, you lose the real value of preserving all this valuable historic farmland.
We started working with the Zook farm here in Christiana spring of 2020, and our first visit with the landowner involved discussing his goals for the operation and finding ways that we can maximize the economic performance of the farm and the environmental performance. And we believe we can do both things together. So some of the things we identified early was the need for an additional manure storage. And in this case, it's a slatted underhouse manure storage. The slatted manure storage is an 8-inch thick concrete slat, and there is a manure storage underneath the slats. In this case here, you know, it's 80 feet long, 40 feet wide, and 10 feet deep. And we're holding, again, 3 months of manure storage here, along with the 3 months of manure storage for the dairy cows. So this gives the landowner flexibility of having the dairy manure and the heifer manure combined together and able to agitate it and pump it out, again, every 5 or 6 months. The idea for the heifer underhouse manure pit is it takes less of a footprint from their productive land because it's underneath the barn already. So we don't have to have a round manure pit, for example, outside of the barn that may take half an acre of productive land. We also planned and have installed some grassed waterways, some upslope diversions, where we can divert that water around the heavy use area in a stabilized manner and outlet clean water to the stream. We're not going to stop it from raining, and we're not going to stop water from going downhill, but what we can do is make sure the water that is going to the stream downhill is clean and not contaminated.
Our team has a lot of skill sets in grant writing and fundraising, and so this allows us to take those talents and those skill sets and expand it to really offer a complete package to the farmers that we're working with.
The Zook Farm is a great example of the financial and technical assistance Lancaster Farmland Trust is offering to Lancaster County farmers. We are currently working with dozens of farmers, similar to the Zook family, who want to improve their stewardship of the land, because Lancaster County is at a critical crossroads regarding the quality of our environment. Half of our local waterways are impaired, meaning they cannot sustain aquatic life. While a working landscape, such as agriculture, impacts water quality, It also has the potential to restore our local waterways, as well as the water of our downstream neighbors. This is why Lancaster Farmland Trust's mission permanently preserves farmland, but also protects the environmental resources of the farm. If Lancaster County is to overcome this challenge, it will only be due to the stewardship and care our farmers have for the land. Thanks for letting me share the important work of Lancaster Farmland Trust.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. And now we're ready to announce the winners of our raffle items. So congratulations go to, first, the Roadside Harvest Painting. The Raffle Award winner is Nancy Alley. Congratulations, Nancy. And now the winner of the Handmade Quilts. Our congratulations go to Julie Bard Ziegler. Congratulations to both of our Raffle Award winners. A Lancaster Farmland Trust team member will be in touch in the coming week to talk to you about your prizes. Now, I want to turn the stage over to Karen to introduce a very special guest.
That's great, Ann. Thanks so much. So glad to have those people bid on those items, and congratulations to the lucky winners. If you've attended our annual dinner, you know that Acres for Auction is the highlight of the evening. If you've never joined us, you are in for a really fun time, and most importantly, the opportunity to preserve a great Lancaster County farm in just one night. We picked out a beautiful farm that has been on our waiting list for 2 years. The farm family has been waiting patiently to preserve their land, and we're hoping you will make that possible tonight. Just like any other auction, we need a really good auctioneer to make it all work. Someone who can twist your arm a little and make you glad he did it. We are very fortunate that for many years, we've had a wonderful volunteer fill that role. With his help, we have preserved hundreds of acres of farmland through Acres for Auction. Let me introduce to all of you our auctioneer for this evening, Steve Risk. Steve is the chairman of the board of Paul Risk Associates, a family business specializing in commercial real estate and development. He is also an off-road adventure guide at Jeep Jamboree USA and a referee for high school football. Most importantly, he's a great friend of Lancaster Farmland Trust and supporter of farmland preservation. Welcome, Steve, and thank you so much for taking time away from your Jeeps to help us preserve another farm.
Well, thank you, Karen, for that very nice introduction. It's great to be here again, even though we're in a little different format than we have in the past. It doesn't change the importance of this important event and accomplish what we need to accomplish. Folks at home, tonight we have an opportunity to make a real impact on the community by preserving another farm. Everyone can watch and can help us and leave a legacy for future generations by protecting farmland. But rather than me just tell you about this great farm, I want you to see the farm that we're going to preserve tonight and hear the farmer's story to you as to why he wants to protect his land.
We've been here for the last 15 years now. 82-acre farm in Martinick Township, depending mostly on dairy, also doing some tobacco farming. Growing up on a farm, I always knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to farm on my own. Just hoping to, if the farm gets preserved, it can stay as a farm and will stay as a farm for the future generations so they can keep farming as I grew up. Working at home, you grow up. Children are growing up, you're there every day. This way, working on the farm, you get to spend a lot more time with the family. It's another thing I like about it. I know that the farm will be here for them. I know that I should not have pressure on developers. It's a good feeling that I know this farm will be preserved. And like I said, it will be here for the future generations to enjoy life on the farm as I grew up.
Wow, what a beautiful farm. And even better, it's down in my neck of the woods, below the shale belt. Karen, can you tell us about how the cost is done to preserve this farm and what our viewers need to do tonight to make sure we get it done? And David, thank you very much for your donation.
Thanks, Steve. It really is a beautiful farm. You know, Steve, preserving farmland is really an investment in our future, an investment in our economy, an investment in our quality of life. And while we like to think of preserved farmland as priceless, the fact is that preserving a farm costs money. From the surveys we do on the land to the appraisals that ensure the easement is properly valued, to the cost of the development rights that are removed so that it can never be developed, the cost for preserving a farm can be substantial. The best thing about preserving farmland is there's no expiration date on the easement. Once a farm is preserved, it's preserved forever. The farm you saw in the video will essentially look exactly the same 100 years from now, and it will always be available to grow our food. Steve, it is real simple to participate in Acres for Auction this year and preserve this farm tonight. Everyone, just get out your phones or your smart devices, click on the Donate to Acres for Auction tab on the left navigation bar of the event website. Or, if you prefer to donate over the phone, dial 717-687-8484, and our staff will take your donation by phone.
Okay, folks, Acres for Auction starts now. It's already got rolling. David helped us out. This is my first time to virtually twist your arm. We need your help to preserve this farm, and I have some very exciting news to kick it off. We have a generous group of donors who have laid down a challenge to all of you out there that they will match all donations up to $25,000. That means if you get your gift in right now, you will be matched dollar for dollar. You can donate any amount you want, but the impact of your gift will double. And there goes Peter and Marcel. Let's see how quickly we reach this match. It's really hopping. There's another Peter came up. Who's going to be the first donor? Well, I've already announced that to match that $25,000. Go online, make your gift. Everything you give will be doubled. There's Laura. She just popped up. Remember, give us a call at 717-687-8484. There's Laura and Robert. Thank you very much. It's rolling in now. You know, I'm really interested in this farm because it is down near me, but it's all farms. It's a great thing. Jeff, I know you've been out to meet the farmer. Can you tell us a little bit more about him, his family, and why they want to preserve their farm? And thank you, Joe and Sally.
Steve, this farm is very special to me, as I drove past this farm daily for the better part of 25 years of my life. Back then, this farm was owned by a different family who ultimately shifted away from farming as their children lost interest. As you heard on the video, Mr. Byler wants this farm to be available for his children to farm in the future, and he hopes the experience they have today will instill the work ethic and passion for farming that has blessed him and his wife. This story rings true for nearly every farm family Lancaster Farmland Trust works with to protect their land. They're protecting this land for future generations. Although the Byler farm has been on our waiting list for 2 years, I can tell you firsthand, he's been patient, but certainly persistent. He calls our office every few months to check on the status of his farm, hoping it's edging closer to being preserved. It was exciting to share this opportunity with him, to be our featured farm in tonight's Acres for Auction.
Jeff, that's such a great story. Just like the other farmers we have worked with over the years, these farm families care about the land and want to make sure it's available so that future generations can continue to farm. They are so committed to preserving their land that they are willing to give up the opportunity for financial gain by developing it. Steve, do you know that in the last couple of years, the list of farmers waiting to preserve their farms has grown dramatically? Today, we have nearly 50 farmers interested in preserving their land. The demand is increasing, and we're working really hard to pick up the pace of preservation, but we need everyone's help to preserve our farmland before it's too late. Recently, we had the chance to sit down with a few of our donors to ask them just why they support our work. Let's check out what they said.
I'm Kathy Kirk. We're here in Peckley Township, part of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Jeff Kirk, married to Kathy, here in Peckway Township?
We're sitting on land that I have been connected to my entire life. My connection to Amos Funk is that he is my grandfather. So every memory that I have growing up surrounding the farm and farming pretty much has Amos and Esther Funk in it.
When we decided to add to the Amos Funk Legacy Society, obviously one of our goals was that it continues the mission. It takes some of what we've earned through our lifetime and have it go to work after we're no longer here. It also puts our kids squarely in the middle of it for them to be part of working with the trust to take care of that. Whoever's running the trust at that point, our children would be involved in that, and we would love for them to always to have an involvement.
When you have been here your whole life, you tend to know a lot of people, have a lot of friends, and hopefully, if we're vocal about what a great and worthwhile cause this is, hopefully we can get other people to view it as we view it and perhaps support it as we support it.
I think the mission is wonderful. It benefits everybody from day one, dollar one. Every single time there's another farm preserved, it benefits everybody in Lancaster. So it's a very universal cause in our town, you know. Conserving land and preserving farmland is just wonderful, and it's immediate.
I don't know. I say it all the time whenever you see me, but Amos and Esther, they're my heroes. It makes me proud to be a Funk.
I am Dave Morris from Gordonville, Pennsylvania. I was born in Philadelphia, and at the age of 6, I moved with my family to a place called Millington, New Jersey.
I'm Gail Morris, and I grew up in New Jersey and lived there until we moved here. Dave and I went to many farming events in New Jersey, as we have done out here as well.
Well, we as a couple are certainly very blessed financially, and we support a number of organizations, a number of nonprofits through donations. And we feel strongly that the work, the mission of the Trust is so very, very important right now. I'm awed by the fact that the Trust has preserved 516 farms, but I'm also at the same time concerned that there are always 40 to 50 farms on the wait list. So the mission of the Trust is important now and for the future. There's an old adage that simply says, no farms, no food, no future. And I strongly believe in that.
I'm Dara Bachman. This is my husband, JP, and my kids, Park, Everett, and Dylan. I grew up in Lancaster County, but I moved away as a teenager and spent all of my 20s outside of Lancaster County.
We live in a great community, a great county, but without the natural landscape that we grew up with and what we've grown to love and miss when we were in Philly, I think it'd be a vastly different place. And the unique qualities that it has because of that landscape would be lost if we weren't thoughtful.
I think it's important to support the mission of Lancaster Farmland Trust because Lancaster is growing. Lancaster gets national attention for what a great place it is to live, and people are moving here. And I think you need people who are part of that conversation, who are thoughtful about what growth looks like. And I think you need people in that conversation who understand the balance between agriculture and the larger culture in a community. And what I've experienced with Lancaster Farmland Trust is that it is that voice that understands the balance between the two and prioritizes preservation of agriculture, but at the same time understands that we as a community are moving forward and are growing.
I think that if you're sitting here watching this and you're already giving, talk to your kids, talk to your grandkids about the great opportunity that they have to preserve this amazing, unique community that does so much for so many. So
that's right. Can't take Lancaster for granted.
Karen and Jeff, I think we can all agree with those folks. Preserving the land, so it is important. It's up to us to make that happen, because like I tell folks, once it's gone, it's gone. It's gone forever. We can only get one chance to do this right. So come on, folks. I mean, you've really been rolling, and I can't even begin to keep up with the names coming across the screen. But let's kick this into high gear and get this farm preserved. Click on that Donate Now button. Give what you can, as much as you can, as often as you can. We don't have much more time left to make this donation now. I don't think any of us want to leave this farm for not getting preserved. This is my second arm twist now. I'm going to grab it. Remember, your gift will be matched up to $25,000. And we want to be able to tell this farmer his dream of preserving his farm has come true. Isn't that right, Jeff?
You're so right, Steve. It's a great feeling to call a landowner and to let them know their farm is going to be preserved, that the legacy of their family will continue to live on long after they've left the farm. Farm families do not make this decision quickly. We typically experience families that have explored the possibility of preservation years ago, think about it, and plan for preservation when they look to transition the farm to the next generation. That's why we need to act quickly, so the opportunity to preserve the farm and realize their dream is not lost. We heard Mr. Byler's passion for preservation. Let's not let this opportunity slip away.
Jeff and Karen, we're coming to the near to the end of our time of Acres for Auction. It seems like the time has just flown right by us. We're on pins and needles to find out where we're going to end up and when we get this farm preserved. Let's keep those donations rolling. Don't stop, folks. Keep on coming. Thank you very much.
I'd say we are, Steve. This work is so personal for me. Growing up in this area, and it's where my wife and I are choosing to raise our kids. The agricultural land we preserve nourished more than cows and corn. They were a respite for my family on bike rides during this pandemic and provide a weekly bounty for our table through a CSA share at Lancaster Farm Fresh. That has numerous preserved farm owners as growers. Nights like this, when our community rallies together to support the future of our landscape, I feel extra fortunate to be part of this incredible work.
Jeff, we are so fortunate to be part of such a generous community dedicated to protecting farmland forever. Thank you so much for your generous support so far. If you haven't had a chance to make your gift tonight, there's still plenty of time to give. Every dollar counts towards preserving our Lancaster County farmland. Thank you, Steve, for your commitment to farmland preservation and for serving as our auctioneer tonight. A final note, after this live broadcast, please join us for a post-event after party. Check in on our progress and see how much we've raised. You can find the link to join on the welcome page of the event website.
Wow. What an amazing impact you have made already tonight. As we're tallying up the total amount raised this evening, I want to remind you, if you bid or donated tonight, please do remember to check out. The team at Lancaster Farmland Trust will connect with you in the next week to determine delivery arrangements. And again, we are so very grateful for your support. So are we ready, Karen and Jeff?
This has been such an exciting night. We are well on our way to preserving this beautiful farm in Acres for Auction. I'm looking forward to telling the farm family their farm will soon be preserved. With your help and the support of our sponsors, this event has raised, and as I wait for the envelope, so far we have raised a total of $116,114.
Wow.
Thank you so much for your support. But we're not done yet. We have a little more time for you to help preserve our beautiful farmland. The silent auction will be open until 8:30 tonight, and Acres for Auction will remain open through October 31st. If you haven't already done so, I hope you will make a bid now.
We want to thank our great staff who pulled this event together tonight. I think we can all agree they did a fabulous job pivoting from our annual dinner to a virtual event. We couldn't do this without our team of faithful volunteers who worked overtime this year, helping to make this event possible.
And one last shout out to our sponsors. Please check our event website for a complete list. It takes a whole team to preserve our great farmland, and our staff, volunteers, and sponsors are a very big part of that effort. On behalf of our Board of Trustees and our staff, thanks so much for joining us. We are grateful for your support of our work.
What an exciting night. Be safe, everyone, and good night. Thanks for being with us.